Now our ebony has come straight from a reputable supplier, and the ends have been dipped in wax to prevent splitting. So you need to get rid of that. Shouldn't really use a chisel as a scraper, but needs must. So, the ebony was from a reputable supplier and came pretty much perfectly flat. It is very, very good quality. The only difference is, as I've said already in this series, something that comes straight off a planer is not good enough to joint with. However, something that comes straight off the drum sander tends to be. So I've put this through the drum sander on both sides, on both faces, and that has given me a perfectly flat surface to glue, and it's ideal. Now we have a perfectly flat neck blank and a perfectly flat fretboard. I've made these clamping cauls, strips of cork, and obviously there's a gap in the middle, and what that does, as you put it on your neck, it puts pressure on the edges of the fretboard. This is obviously not that important when you are clamping something that isn't pre-cambered or it doesn't have a radius. However, when you are re-gluing a fretted fretboard on, or a fretboard that you've already radiused and fretted, etc., this sort of thing is useful. I'm running out of words. I must apologise. Now, I use polyurethane glue for most jobs. It is very quick drying, easy to use, easy to clean up, unless you get it on your fingers, in which case you end up with black fingers for a couple of days, unless you clean it off immediately. And it lasts very, very, very well. However, you will one day make a neck and you will want to take that neck off the guitar. Or you will glue a fretboard to a neck and realise 2 days later that it is slightly misaligned or in the wrong place. And if you use polyurethane, you are going to have to plane it off and destroy the fretboard. And if you've got mother of pearl inlays, destroy your plane at the same time. I have learnt this. However, Titebond or hide glue, either would work just as well, although we're using Titebond today. If you need to take it off, you steam or heat up the area, the fretboard or the neck joint, and you can easily remove the part. So for that very reason, I use Titebond on neck joints and on fretboards, or if there is anything else, any area that you need to remove, or you might possibly want to take off. So, The last thing you want is too much glue. The next last thing you want is too little. So I've got these credit card blanks, and I use them to spread the glue. It's not actually quite even because that one's already got glue on it. There we go. So if you've got too much, your glue creates a barrier in between the fretboard and the neck. If you've got too little, and depending on the wood you're using, it will get soaked up into the wood and you won't have enough glue holding your work together. Now rosewood doesn't soak up glue very much, and I'm quite happy with that. So fretboard. I don't have to be particularly petty about the positioning of this fretboard because it is a blank. Because we're using a strange scale length, I can't pre-cut the fret slots on with a jig. So this is how we do it. So here we have it. 5 clamps holding the fretboard and the neck together. As I've said before, if you can't hold 2 pieces of wood together with just the pressure of your fingers, then the joint is not good enough. 5 clamps is overkill, but again, as I've said before, better safe than sorry. Thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the next video.